You might be a great scholar. You might be able to defeat His Holiness the Dalai Lama in logic and scholarship. You might be a great practitioner. You know, you're able to execute the most complex rituals. And the most elaborate visualizations. And you might even be a great siddha, able to do things like fly through the sky, read people's minds, all that kind of stuff. But there's one thing, if you don't know it, you will not exit saṃsāra. You will be bound to saṃsāra. Just one thing. This is a dramatic pause, by the way. Just as well you're used to me.
Margaret is going to ask a question or something, I think, Martin.
No, I have my pen ready for this one thing.
Oh, I see.
That's good. What is this one thing? Rigpa. Rigpa. But what does Rigpa mean? So, there's a lot of misunderstanding. It's not about having some special kind of awareness called Rigpa. That's not what it's about. What is it? It's about having personal knowledge of the origin of all experiences, where all experiences come from. Not the experience itself, but where it comes from. This is what Rigpa is. Personal knowledge. And you see, before a thought solidifies and becomes a thing, there is a brief moment of unfabricated consciousness. And I'll say a little bit more about that in the chat afterwards, how you can identify that and so on. This unfabricated consciousness has all kinds of different names, And for example, pristine consciousness is called. The knowledge of that, the knowledge of pristine consciousness is Rigpa. So Rigpa is not about awareness, it's about knowledge. This is almost a secret. It's so difficult to come across this explanation. Rigpa is not awareness, it's about knowledge of pristine consciousness. Personal, not knowledge in the sense of understanding, knowledge in the sense of personally knowing it. And I can go into that a little bit as well later. Now, when your mind is full of stuff, when you're occupied, it's very difficult to encounter pristine consciousness. So, this is why we practice, you see. This is why we create this special situation, so-called meditation. No, we're not meditating actually. This is non-meditation. But this is why we create this special circumstance, this special situation. And what do? Basically, we allow our mind to settle. We don't force our mind to settle. Again, a big mistake people make. Oh, my mind is supposed to be settled. How can I squeeze it into settling? No. You allow the mind to settle by not agitating it, taking your hands off. And I'm going to say more about this in the chat afterwards. So whatever experiences arise, you take your hands off, you leave it alone. You don't agitate your mind, you simply rest. And when you do that, mind will settle in its own nature. This is a very natural thing. This is not something forced. This isn't a state that you're squeezing yourself into. This is very natural. Mind settles in its own nature. There are still experiences happening, but that's okay. You see, you just leave them alone. And you may even find your mind does not settle at all. But actually, that's okay. You just leave it alone. There's no need to correct. What we're doing here is just resting, leaving our mind alone, resting. Then, after a little while, again, you can accelerate this experience by practicing Acarya yoga. But this experience, after your mind has settled a little bit, you just relax even more and observe your mind. Some masters call this turning the mind inward. No. You just relax, see what's going on. And what you notice is the unfabricated consciousness is actually happening. Everything is just as it is. There's nothing special. You know? Everything just as it is, just this flow of experience. It's neither good nor bad, it's just these things happening. Just these things happening. Empty experience. That, knowing that, is Rigpa. It's utterly simple, and yet it's complete. There's nothing missing. There's nothing to grasp at. So you just rest. Like it says on the tombstones, rest in peace. You just rest. So let's do that. Mind is moving, but you're not. You're resting, observing the movement. And then you get distracted. That's okay. You become present. Unmoving while the mind is moving. Observing. Without grasping. So this is not something you're doing. You're just present, resting, and awake. You get distracted, that's okay. You don't have to cancel the distraction. It's enough just to be present. Observing. Not doing anything. It's not that you stop yourself from grasping. You just don't grasp. Present. Resting.